everyone, this is Honey Buns, and I'm back with another video. Goodness, I say that way too many times. Okay, so today's video will be about 7 reasons why I will be interning abroad. So let's begin. My first reason why I want to intern abroad is because I need a break, and I'm just honestly burned out from school. So I just thought I might want to do something valuable with my time off. So this internship was actually inspired by my friend Esther, and her internship was about engineering, and she took about 3 months off, I believe, where the company actually paid for her stay and covered for her housing as well as electricity bill. All she had to really worry about was the fact that she had to pay for food. And on top of that, she was also paid for her internship. I'm motivated to do this program because I see that I should do something worthwhile. I have been going to school back to back with every session that's available, and I just thought I need a break because I am actually burning out. Last semester, right around the time I was graduating, I was actually at my burning out peak. I kind of got lazy towards the end, and I almost felt like I didn't make it, but I pushed myself to finish as much as I could. So because of that, I felt like I needed to reboot and be refreshed and start over. Number 2, traveling the world is something I've always wanted to do ever since I was little, but now that I'm older, I feel like I want to do it now before I get even older and I'm swamped with all this, the work life and being left and committed to that, so I won't be able to enjoy my youth as much. Again, this was something I wanted to make the best of my internship, so I decided to take this as an advantage. It kills 2 birds with 1 stone. The fact that I will be independent and that I get to travel and chase my dreams. So reason number 3 is my motivation to accomplish my New Year's resolution. If you guys remember my video about reflecting on 2016, I told you at the end of the clip that my New Year's resolution is to make my dreams a reality. And this year is really the year for me to do it. The first place I was thinking about interning in was Indonesia because I was inspired by 2 friends, Claudia and Calvin, because of how relatively cheap it is there. An American dollar bill is the equivalent to 13,000 rupiah, which can accommodate for 1 meal, I believe. Maybe half a meal. I'm not really sure. And regarding my financial stability as a college student, I do not have much, but I can make do with what I can provide for myself. However, I had to look into other options such as interning in Japan, the Philippines, South Korea, and they didn't really turn out to be the way I had hoped. When I looked into Japan, I really wanted to go all out and do the full term that it can possibly give me, which is 6 months. And for Japan, that is around $5,000, almost $6,000 to do it. And I don't have the funding for it exactly, so didn't go through with it. When I looked into the Philippines, it wasn't something I was looking into because I am already accustomed to the nature, the environment over there. As much as it would look good that I'm getting in touch with my native culture, I don't think it could offer much for me. My last choice is South Korea. When I was doing the research, it wasn't available for internship. There was no available English positions that I could do. And there's also the fact that it was just as expensive as Japan. My 4th reason is because I wanted it and I worked hard for it. When I did Internship Indonesia, I am aware that there is a very high chance that I would be scammed. So I had to do a lot of in-depth research, so I researched the hell out of it. The number 1 thing I was scared about is the fact that there was a lack of videos that was unavailable about the internship. The last video that they provided online was probably dated back 2015 or 14, somewhere there. It's just something that was like kind of out of date, I believe. There was a video about their interns that was also interviewed in that video, but people tend to question its legitimacy. So because it was old, it kind of made me question that maybe, they could be just actors or something. So when I was doing my research, I was fortunate enough to find the previous interns a memoir of their experience being abroad. According to them, it was kind of mandatory to write about their experience just to share with other people. However, it was hard to find them because they were deep in the internet. A lot of their memoirs are hidden, I guess you could say, on the actual site where they linked a girl's experience, and she posted hers on Tumblr. So when I followed it, I followed through with everything she talked about. She commented about weekly progresses and how it went for her. I believe she probably did the same thing as I will be doing, which is 6 months. And basically she took pictures. I think she took a video of where she stayed at. To finalize my confidence in this organization was my sister found a thread where one person actually explained that they were scared that this organization may be a scam, and they expressed their concern about it. And the alumni who did intern in this program actually messaged back. They left behind contact information such as their email and whatnot. Because unfortunately on the internship website, they do not provide contact information, which I can respect because it's for privacy issues, but I'm just glad that they made it possible to reach them. I wish that they could leave out some contact information if the participant was willing to give it out, just to help those future interns who want to come in. It took me 5 months to have the entire money for the internship, so it was right around, I believe, December 13 of 2016 until April 15, 2017. So the grand total of the internship was $1,177, and on top of that I had to pay for my flight. So because I got it somewhat, I don't know if I would say late or early, it was just sometime in the middle. I got it for $816.69, so that's around $2,000 that I spent right there. So consider that factor with Japan. I'm pretty sure I would have paid maybe around under $10,000. So for being 6 months and being around $2,000, I think that's a great steal. The fifth reason why I want to intern abroad is because I want to experience adulthood. I feel like it's necessary. I put myself in a different setting. I can actually mature more. Personally, I believe that the root of adulthood comes down to making tough decisions, as well as recognizing the consequences that come with them. I never really planned for my parents to pay for anything regarding this plan. Besides knowing that I have been successful to do what I want to do, not a lot of people know about the backlash, the consequences that came with it. My parents, perhaps even other family members, perceive me as someone being really selfish. Being the oldest in my family meant that I should be able to help around the house. I should be able to help with my parents' problems, also regarding financially. And because I chose this decision, I could not completely support them financially, which left me with a lot of guilt. Either I was going to be the selfish young woman who was going to pursue her dreams and accomplish them, or I was going to be the selfless woman who would give up her aspirations because of the situation that was holding her down. People say that timing is everything, but I'm not getting any younger, and I apologize for that, because before I know it, maybe it's already too late. You come to realize that every decision you make comes with a consequence. Not only is it positively impacting your life, but there's also a negative result. But not everyone knows that because no one mentions it. That's how I learned that you can never be a people pleaser. And that's a crossroad you learn when you grow up. Number 6, maybe the most important one, is I don't want to regret it. The only thing greater than my guilt for being selfish is the fact that I've been holding so many regrets that that's what's been pushing me to keep going. It's not a surprise that what if thoughts accompany it. Most of the time you just don't take action, you're just haunted by it, taking long showers, or before you go to sleep, you're just entertained by these thoughts that what if this had happened, this, or this would happen. It just seems like you'll never be happy with whatever you decide. My parents, they do not understand why. Every time I would explain to them that I just have to do it just so I wouldn't regret it, just didn't make sense to them. It took me weeks to convince them to let me go, but every day I just still felt like I was guilt-tripped for my decision. Regarding my regret, I'm willing to be called selfish for it, because that's something I'm willing to take in exchange for being haunted for the rest of my life that I will regret listening to them and not doing something I wanted to do. Deep down, I believe that my parents do understand to an extent, because they know what it was like living in an environment and culture where your parents ruled everything for you. From the moment they were born and raised to act in this kind of mannerism, to the major they chose. when they grew up. It was all decided by their parents. So in a way, I feel like my parents didn't want me to experience where I was chained down by something, by someone that they trust and love. So they're willing to let me do what I can do. As much as they hate this, and I can understand why, because they're gonna be away from me for 6 months and I'm on the opposite side of the globe, I feel like as hard as it is for them, they're letting me do it because they just don't want me to suffer like they did. My final reason why I want to do this is because I want to be grateful. Like I said in the previous videos, if you guys have been watching, because of so many things that have happened in the past, I've been left feeling cynical, maybe even numb to everything. I can't even feel being grateful to my parents for what they're doing, to be honest. I never experienced being independent because I've always grew up by their side. I just learned to accept that there's someone I just rely on to be alive, to be living under a house and being fed, and I take for granted that my mom and dad work hard for me. Especially when they come back from work, my mom still does house chores when I should be the one doing them. But I don't. My sister and I, for the longest time, have always been the ones who would just stay on our laptop, watch video, play video games, and we wouldn't really help around the house because we knew like our mom would just do it. She's just that kind of person who just cleans up. But after my sister moved away to college and she came back home, I noticed that she's been more helpful around the house. And when I asked her about it, it's because she understood what it was like to help people and be grateful about it. Because when my sister had to learn everything independently by herself, she knew that she was pampered more than she thought that she was. And I feel guilty saying this stuff about myself, but really, I just can't feel grateful. And I just think that maybe if I was taken to a new environment, that I could be more grateful for what my parents have been providing for me. Maybe I'd be even more inspired to help around the house because I didn't notice it or something before, that I worked hard for it. I'm hoping that something will change inside me while I'm away. However, I know that to some of you guys this doesn't justify how much I'm a bad person, because I know you guys might still think I'm a lazy ass and that I'm selfish for not helping around the house, and I don't blame you for it. I hate that side of me too. I hope that when I do come back from Indonesia, something will change in me. That maybe this is the first step to becoming a better person that I always hope that I will be. And the result for it is not only for myself, but I hope it's for the best for my family as well. So these are the 7 reasons why I would like to intern abroad. And I'm sorry that a lot of them have been very deep and kind of melancholy, so I apologize for that tone. But I don't intend to hide that stuff from you guys. And I will be ending this video with another quote. This is by an unknown person, and it says, "Decisions are the hardest things to make, especially when it is a choice between where you should be and where you want to be." Personally, my answer to this is choose the answer that makes you happy. Because like I said, you can't please everyone, so why not just please yourself first? As long as you're happy, I'm pretty sure people will follow through and be happy for you as well. These are one of the struggles I'm touching up on as a maturing young adult. And I hope you guys can pick up something valuable out of them, hopefully. Or that's at least what I hope you guys will pick up. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!